Okay, Ginebra lost to Tokete and they lost big. Of course, no bearing for both teams actually. But surprisingly, Mark Caguioa actually was up at 2:30 in the morning and he sent out 2 tweets. One tweet, sabi niya, by the way, we already talked about this at practice. I'm not blaming our big man for rebounding at all. I thought we made a deal that it's a team effort. And he followed it up with another tweet and he said, and tonight wasn't even about rebounding at all. We had lapses on both ends of the floor. So the point here, should I STFU? We all know what STFU means, right?
No.
Can you tell us?
Silence the foot up.
Galing mo talaga.
High five yun.
Wagas ang kagalingan mo.
You silence the foot up, ha?
Mga pamatay na
Silence the
linya
foot up!
naman.
Diba? Yan yun.
Pero sabi niya,
Hell nah! Ibig sabihin, he will verbalize whatever is a papansin niya. And take note, this was at 2:30 in the morning. So, let's try and decipher. What is Mark saying? This was after they lost big to Talking Tex. Now, ideally, that loss should not have any effect on Ginebra because it's a no-bearing game. But apparently, it had enough effect for Mark to make a reaction and make it public. Magu?
Anybody would be upset after a loss like that. Na,
Kahit no bearing.
Kasi walang effort eh.
Okay.
You didn't see the effort. Especially knowing Mark na kapag ka nakikita niyang yung fans nila nandoon na nagbayad ng ticket just to watch him, it was near capacity at the Big Dome. For a no-bearing game for Ginebra, near capacity pa rin yung Big Dome. And then they performed not up to par. Really talagang hindi nga not up to par. Really
Below par.
Below par na ano. I wanted to say another word pero
sabihin mo.
ayoko baka ma-shut the foot up ako eh.
Silence daw.
Silence the foot up ako eh.
the
Baka
foot
ma-shut the foot. Silence the foot up ako. Sorry. Siyempre nahihiya din sila na naging ganun yung performance, hindi nakalaban talagang. Pero hopefully nagpahinga nga lang talaga yung Barangay Ginebra, no? And sinasabi nga niya, it's a total complete effort. He doesn't want to point fingers at anybody anymore.
I think what he was going for though is, momentum going into the playoffs. Kasi medyo importante din yun para sa kanila, most especially kasi they've been, not very consistent this conference. May isang games na that they're gonna play really good and then next game parang what the hell, parang ganun, di ba? So I think that was what he was going for and he didn't like how, they showed up in that game na parang wala, naglakad lang. So
Doug?
Can't blame him.
Yeah, I think obviously he's venting out his frustrations and it all stemmed first from the lack of rebounding from their team and to think that they're the number one, I mean, in terms of height, they're the tallest team, diba? And they should dominate the boards. And there are several games that they've actually lost even by big margins. But he said it's beyond that, and I think it's because they didn't exert the effort that they should have, even though it wasn't, even though it was a no-bearing game.
Are they starting to take the foot off the gas pedal na? They've had a rough 2014. Lost to San Mig to open it up. Actually, yung ending ng 2013, yung Meralco, Japet at the buzzer for the win. Pero pagdating ng 2014, it's been rough. Yung Barako Bull led them all the way to the end of the third quarter. Yung Global Port, yun lang yung impressive win. And then itong Talking Tex, natalo pa sila ng ganun, diba? It's been rough.
Charles?
Well, I guess for me, I know Mark a bit. I mean, he's a winner. I've watched him for a while. He just likes to win. So when they're winning, he can suck some things up and not say whatever's on his mind. But when you're losing, it brings out a totally different perspective, and he wants to vent out. I guess just for me, I really wish, and not just for him, but all these PBA players, if you have any issues, keep it internal. Just tell your coaches, tell your players. The other people don't need to know. What for? I mean, it's between you guys and your team. So for me, it's okay. But he can say whatever he wants, I guess. Sana lang, internal.
Gusto niya i-share.
Ayun na. So, okay lang.
Kung wala tayong episode.
It's interesting that things like this are happening to a team that's number one. I guess the notion is if you're number one, everything is going right for you. So whatever happens, no complaints. You're number one.
You know the flip side of it naman?
Oh.
Even if they're having all kinds of success, being the number one team right now, they're not happy with how they're playing. They still want to improve. They want to dominate everybody.
Yeah, good point.
They got killed by like 20 plus.
24.
So,
Actually, yung yung talo nila sa Togetex, for now, since di pa sila naglalaro sa playoffs, you know, you can say, nagpahinga lang yung Ginebra because it's a no-bearing game. Why risk injury to your key players? Doesn't matter if you lose by 100 points. It doesn't matter. It won't change
Actually,
anything.
it should be pointed out that LA and Mark didn't even play the second and fourth quarters.
Yeah.
And si Japet
Yeah.
and si Greg, limited minutes din naman.
Yeah, and the only way to end the debate, because I know people are debating whether or not binugbo ba talaga ng Togetex or yung Ginebra ba, just took a 9 off, which is it's normal. I mean, it's normal. You're already in the playoffs, and why risk injury?
so I expect you never to
Pero
go up guns
at
ablaze.
the same thing, Togetex didn't get anything from the win. I mean,
They
could
snapped
have,
the 3-game skid.
yeah, but
Yeah,
they
but
could have
yeah,
also rested.
they could have
They
taken
actually
a
needed
night
like
off.
more.
But they could have also rested because their standings the same.
Yeah, that's
diba?
good
I mean,
point
it's,
yan.
it's the same
Yeah.
for both these teams. So.
Yeah, kaya nga malalaman yan pagdating ng playoffs, how Ginebra plays against either Alaska or Maragot, then I think that's when people will see kung pwede nila i-connect yung sinasabi ni Mark, or you know, or if Ginebra runs over whoever the opponent is, then they'll say, then kalimut mo, you can forget about that Togetex game and charge that to, you know, experience and taking a night off because nagpahinga ka.
But this is not even the first time that Mark tweeted, you know, after a loss.
Ano bang alam mo? Parang may alam ka eh.
Hindi, di ba may isa pa siyang tweet parang about, you know, sitting on the bench for too long, something like that. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But yung naging effect noon next game was
Mark's
so
feed.
positive na nanalo, di ba? So,
Bakit feeling mo ba itong Ginebra may certain weaknesses sa kanila that opponents can exploit?
yung pagka-inconsistent lang siguro na sinasabi ni Mark when it comes to rebounding. And yun nga. I mean, kung ano sabi ni Mark, tingnan nyo. Check nyo kasi yung tweet niya na malaman nyo. Take notes!
Okay, last question for everyone. Should Ginebra fans be seriously concerned over what Mark said and how Ginebra performed against Togetex? Charles?
Maybe not for me. You know, he's just probably firing up his teammates or whatever, just venting out frustration. Kasi nga, you know, he just wants to win, and you can't blame the guy for feeling that way after a loss, diba? So, you know, they'll find a way.
Mago?
Pwede eh, baka panggising lang. So, not overly concerned, pero a little concerned maybe. Parang pagbigyan lang ng tamang pansin yung tweet na yon, and let's see how everybody else reacts to it.
Miyaka?
No, kasi kita mo naman, the guy is a winner. Parang feeling ko everything's under control.
And he followed it up, diba? It
Yeah.
can only make them stronger.
Right. Doug?
I think you'll see a different Ginebra team. First game of the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think if let's say they took a night off, then fine, they got the rest. If they really played horrible and they weren't happy about it, then it's a perfect wake-up call, right in time for the playoffs. So it should work well for Ginebra.